morning. Welcome into First Take. I'm Courtney Cronin, and we've got a huge show today. David Dennis Jr., Kevin Clark, Mike T, Paul Feinbaum, Damian Woody, and more. And we start this show right out in Vegas. Cooper Flagg made his Summer League debut last night against Bronny James and the Lakers to a mixed bag of results. While he had some high-flying and clutch plays down the stretch, Flagg finished with 10 points on 5 of 21 shooting from the field in a game that came down to the final buzzer after Bronny James missed a game-winning three-point attempt. So, Coop, how you feeling after your first Summer League action?
Coaches, they had a lot of confidence in me. They've been telling me they want me to, experiment, try some new things. I was trying to be aggressive. That's new for me too. I would say that might be one of the worst games of my life. I'm not necessarily worried, but obviously just not happy with how it went. But, at the end of the day, we did get the win.
Yikes, one of the worst games of his life, but obviously it's only day one of what should be a very long career for him, David. Your biggest takeaway from watching Cooper Flagg versus Bronny last night was what?
3 words for Cooper Flagg: real bleeping deal. This dude showed us the complete package. Yes, it was 5 for 21. Yes, the jump shot is going to come. There were some mechanics there that needs to work on. But what we saw in that last play was the Cooper Flagg experience. A dynamic, athletic block, getting out in the transition and finding the open guy. This is the type of dynamo that he is going to be in the league. Great defense, rebounding, being one of the most athletic guys on the court for his size, for his age, getting out in transition, putting pressure on defenses. There were not a lot of turnovers there for him also, while that Lakers team was putting a lot of pressure on him. And for his first game, I know the shots weren't falling, but what we saw was the promise of a dude who can be an anchor on a Dallas Mavericks team that could be a top 5, top 10 defense in the league. And once he's handling the ball, gets a little better with some of that point guard work and gets into transition and puts that pressure, like I said, we're looking at a guy who is going to come out the gate on fire this season.
Yeah. We've heard from Jason Kidd throughout the preseason that he wants Cooper Flagg to be in that point guard role, primary initiator, ball handler. We saw a little bit of that last night, and I agree with you, David. It felt like he was getting good looks. The shots just weren't falling. 10 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. I think most people in their first game would be okay with that stat line, but think about the hype around this guy going in. These seats, if you want to sit courtside last night at the Thomas and Mack Center, you're paying up to $2,500 a ticket. That is coin that I would not be spending on a preseason game, but nonetheless, it was a packed house out in Vegas. On the other side of this matchup, we mentioned it, Bronny James had that last shot. It did not fall. What did you see from the Lakers' sophomore player in his debut last night?
Yeah, the game absolutely lived up to the hype of those ticket prices and the buzz. One of the biggest buzzes of games that we've seen in the Summer League, and a lot of that was because of what Bronny James brought to the table. He came out the gate and had a lot of that fire himself that said, hey, this isn't just about Cooper Flagg. This is Cooper Flagg versus Bronny James. I'm just as good as the #1 draft pick this year. He was taking it to Flagg early on, hit those first couple of shots, including that step back mid-range shot over Cooper Flagg. He was pressuring on defense, but Cooper Flagg got in the paint. Bronny got down in position in his stance and said, I'm not going to let you bully me in the paint. I'm going to be aggressive with you. I'm going to swipe the ball from you. They were jawing at each other. This is growth from Bronny James. He's carrying himself in the Summer League as a guy like, I've been in the league. I've played games. I belong here, and I belong in on a roster somewhere. And I don't care if it's Cooper Flagg or anybody else. I want a piece of this dude in these games. And it was epic basketball, as epic as you can get in a Summer League one-on-one matchup between a #1 pick and a 55th pick.
Yeah, Bronny James, 2 of 8 from the field last night for 8 points. Mavs end up winning this game 87-85. We'll be seeing a lot more from these two. All right, welcome back into First Take. Jalen Williams came to an agreement on a 5-year max rookie contract extension with the Thunder that could reach $287 million. That officially locks in OKC's big 3 of SGA, Chet Holmgren, and now Williams to long-term commitments. J-Dub coming off a year where he made his first All-NBA and All-Defensive Team appearance. OKC is projected to have a payroll of $246 million, according to ESPN front office insider Bobby Marks. However, the Thunder have flexibility with $77 million in non-guaranteed contracts, putting them in a position to keep the core of this roster together for the foreseeable future. David Dennis Jr., Courtney Cronin with you here on First Take. I've seen a lot of headlines that OKC is going broke. They spent $800+ million in a stretch of about 10 days. But with this trio being locked in, how many titles do you think this group should win?
The Oklahoma City Thunder, as currently constituted, should win at least 3 championships before this is all done. This is the dynasty of the NBA that we're going to see for the foreseeable future. Here's the fact that should bring terror up the spines of every other team in the NBA. What we saw this year is the worst version of the Oklahoma City Thunder team that we're going to see. Everybody else on this team is going to get better. SGA is going to be better. Chet Holmgren is going to be better defensively and offensively. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. J-Dub was getting better throughout the course of the playoffs. And oh, by the way, he was playing with a hurt wrist the entire time. He is going to come back better. This team, as I've said before, has reminded me of the Golden State Warriors of 2014, 2015, where they were young, they were unproven, they had Draymond coming off the bench, Clay was making threes, but they had not found themselves yet, and they only got better as time went on. That is what we're looking at with this Oklahoma City Thunder and the cap flexibility that they have with the draft picks to build around any players that they may lose. This team is destined for greatness for the rest of the decade.
It's hard to believe that they were able to pay these players when you see just how teams have done this with their big threes in the past and how it really hasn't worked out. But it's such a unique situation. You've got SGA, who's like the old man here at 26 years old, and everybody else younger than that. It was the perfect timing for the Oklahoma City Thunder to reward their own, knowing that they should be in contention for the NBA Finals for the next decade or so. I would say anywhere from like 2 to 3 titles should be the expectation. Certainly financially, they put themselves in position for that. But the rest of the West is getting better, David. Look at what Denver did this offseason. Look at what the number 2 seed last year in the Houston Rockets did to get even better now, bringing in Kevin Durant. I mean, the way that this was done, though, you got to give Sam Presti a lot of credit. It's not business as normal around the NBA, given how long they waited to get to this point. The draft picks that you mentioned, certainly Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, and then going out and being smart with your acquisitions of some of these free agents and the trades, giving Josh Giddey to the Chicago Bulls, getting Alex Caruso in to win a championship, Isaiah Hartenstein, so on and so forth. This is a very smart masterclass in how to build a team. Not many can do it, and we've seen teams pay their stars a lot expecting titles like the Boston Celtics, but we'll see if the Oklahoma City Thunder are able to continue on this trend as they go into the 25-26 season. Our NBA 2K26 Summer League coverage rolls on with another quadruple header for you today. It starts with Hawks Heat at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on ESPN2. Then Jazz Hornets is on ESPN at 7, followed by Wizards Suns, and the Trail Blazers and the Warriors round out the night on ESPN2 at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. Time for a quick take. Cooper Flagg and Bronny James faced off last night in the most exciting Summer League matchup so far. Really haven't been that many, but nonetheless, Bronny finished with 8 points and a pair of rebounds and an assist, while Flagg got the win and finished with 10.6 boards, 4 assists, but on 5 of 21 shooting. Not his best night, but David, your biggest takeaway is what?
Cooper Flagg is legit. Absolutely 100% bona fide star in the making. I know the shooting was not there. That'll come. But what is going to stick, what we're going to see immediately upon him getting into the league is the athleticism, the defense, the transition, the finding the open guys, the explosiveness, the pressure that he's going to put on opposing defenses. And that Dallas Mavericks team, but Cooper Flagg there is going to be a great top 10 at the very least defense. And what we saw there was competitive spirit from him and Bronny James, because Bronny showed up last night saying, this ain't your game, Cooper Flagg. This is mine, and I want to give you everything I got. He went at him for those first 2 possessions. They were jawing at each other. He was playing defense when Flagg tried to post him up. This was as intense a Summer League game as you're going to see between 2 dudes, and they were going at it. This showed that that Bronny is way better than he was last year, and Cooper Flagg is going to hit the ground running for a Rookie of the Year campaign.
All right, some exciting action out in Las Vegas. The Mavs win that one 87-85.